Thank you very much for having me here. I'll try to be quick because, as I understand, there is time concerns. I catch on President Leterme indication. Can you hear me? Okay. I catch on President Leterme indication. Finally, I think we have the political space for a European intervention. And I think we have the political space also for a new activity on SMEs. If you think the crisis has brought SMEs, unfortunately, at the forefront of the public's attention, but also it has brought SMEs at the attention because of the concept of value chains, the concept of proximity, the concept of safety, etc. So I think that we, as Italy, are putting at the forefront some activities. I'm thinking about the activity we are doing on recovery, access to finance, recapitalization. This is what we are working on with our recovery plan. Transition, where there is a strong role for the public sector to bring our companies to green transition, to bring our companies in the digital world, and this is especially true for SMEs that have got more difficulties in this transition, and there is a role of the public sector on this. I think the third leg of what we are doing with the recovery plan and what in a way will be at the heart of our position on the G20 is to build industrial ecosystems. I really like this expression that Mr. Breton has put forward in the last months. I think we have to build in Europe industrial ecosystems where large companies, small companies, startups, universities, research centers speak the same language, work on projects that really build a common language, a common way forward. And I think that this means concentration on tech transfer, means building competence centers, means really building a texture of relationship between large and small companies and in their relationship with research centers. Finally, I think that we have to make a strong work on values. Recovery is the occasion to deal, for example, with the creative industries where culture and enterprise work together. I think we have to do a strong work on female entrepreneurship. Too few women are entrepreneurs in Europe up to now, and especially too few women are entrepreneurs in the innovative sectors. We have to have a strong work on this. What is the role of supranational and international bodies in this activity? Well, I think that first of all, we have to have a strong strategy platform that comes from upstairs, if you want. I fully share the idea that the Commission should refocus its strategy, but I think that also other international bodies should work on giving advice on this strategy. Possibly a strategy that differentiates between different SMEs, because I think that is very different the situation of a micro company to the company with international projection, with innovation, with technology that really has got a completely different set of problems. And I think that this has been a weakness of SME policy up to now. The fact that there's been a mixture of very different situations. Secondly, I think that we have to have a strong work on best practices. We are now speaking about all together, but the moment we close our devices, everybody will be mostly alone in its activity. And I think that it's a special task of supranational and international bodies to maintain a network, to provide best practice solution, because very often we would treasure to understand what other countries are doing, what other regions are doing, what are the effects of their policy, how it is working, does it fit to our body. Third aspect is to have common battles, communities build together around battles. It's interesting. Mr. Jäger at the beginning used the term battle, and I agree. Why don't have a common battle, for example, to bring entrepreneurial values in schools from the beginning? From the beginning, our kids have to understand what is to have an enterprise, what is the economic vision of Europe, what is the economic vision of the region, of their city, what are the possibilities in the region and their city. All these aspects have to be in our G2020 presidency. We are in a way retaking the torch of the Bologna Charter 20 years after. And if you look at the Bologna Charter, a lot of the aspects of the Bologna Charter are still today in dispute, are still today elements to work on. At that stage, it was called the information society, but it still is called, today is called digitalization. It's the same thing. There was a strong attention on evaluation of programs, and I think that evaluation is a core word also today. There was a strong incentive on international cooperation, and I think that the international cooperation and the strengthening of it must be still reinforced. So I think that there is a continuum between what we are doing now, thank you to this political space, and what is the political space that at the international level, at the G20 level, we have to really push forward the cause of small and medium enterprises.